It's sometime between Christmas and New Year. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. And I really need a vegetable. Hello, folks, of course. Have we survived Christmas? Oh. I don't know why we do it to eat. You know, is it just a British thing? Yeah, where Christmas Day comes and you just become gluttonous on Christmas dinner and chocolate. I'm still making my way through the massive Jace pile. Thank you, Jace. Hello, Cat. Hey, up, Ant, Tam. Hello, the gang's all in tonight, aren't they? Right, it is a Q&A show. The question doc is open. I have thrown the link down in the description. I think I'm all over the place. I really am. Oh, I still feel stuffed. I think about 11 o'clock today I started on I started on the mint aero balls.
What fun.
What was that?
I don't know.
You that desperate to get on the TV, are you? Has that tooth come out yet?
No.
You gonna let me take that tooth?
No.
Come on, let me take that tooth.
No.
She's got a loose tooth, haven't you?
Hello.
Which tooth is it? That one. Can I just wiggle it to see?
No.
She won't let me have it.
You're gonna yank it out.
Good evening, good evening. Yes, what do you call it? It's a
we
weird
have the
time.
friend at our house.
Yeah, we have a sleepover going on, don't we?
Me and Amelia.
Yeah, they're roadblocks in.
She ain't down here, it's just me.
It's just Willow crashing the stream as usual. Right. Mel, is there something special about woodland scenic liquid pigment, or can one use diluted acrylics? Do you know what? I've got some of the liquid pigment in the studio and I haven't used it in I haven't used it since I've had kids. Yeah, and how old are you?
11.
So it's at least 11 years.
And Corbin's 13.
So it's at least 13 years. I don't think it is the same, to be truthful.
I'm going to cut the back of my leg jumping.
I have a feeling that the liquid pigment is more of a dye.
You know that, guys?
See it? See you later, Wills. More of a dye, to be truthful, off the top of my head. A wild willow appears. Yes, she does. Started with the rum and coffee for breakfast, then ate for 12 hours. Normal eating rules go out the window on an Xmas and Boxing Day. I know what you mean, mate. I know what you mean. It wouldn't be a Sunday night without a photobomb. Do you know what? It wouldn't, would it? I was thinking about this, and I've been watching other people's streams, and my Sunday nighter show is very more relaxed, yeah, than a lot of other people's streams, yeah. See, you wouldn't get that in other people's streams, or that. You know what I mean? Or that.
We are. Where's this gonna go? Bye. My mum didn't actually want you know. I know.
Right, if you finish crashing,
No.
right, go on, go do your stuff so I can do my thing. Kids.
Pikachu. Now push me.
No. You're not playing those games down here. Now, if you go into the kitchen to get something, go and get it, then up to your room, please.
Fine.
Daddy putting his foot down.
And that foot gonna be raised up in a minute.
Willow.
No, I mean when you're actually walking into.
No, Willow, go sort yourself out now. Come on. We had the utter chaos that was the Christmas stream. I want something a little bit more sedate for this Sunday nighter. So let me check the doc. Let's see how the questions are coming in. We've got one so far. Yeah, we'll have to bring a few more of those in. Oz, go lie down, mate. You're not going to get any chocolate. People are saying the volume's a bit low. Let me... Or have I just knackered it? No, I think that should work it a bit. I can't boost it any more than that, unfortunately, without going to one of the other mics. Hey, Mel, dumb question. I've been trying to get into terrain making and looking up the flock powders. All I see is static grass. Is there something else called in America? Yeah, look for scatter, mate. In America, you call it scatter. Yeah, scatter foams, scatter flocks. We just call it flock in the UK, which is ironic because we also call static grass flock. But we're a big bunch of flockers. Right. Hopefully that's a little bit better for you guys. I'm sort of peeking just into the yellow. I'll have to have a nose with the sound one and see what I can come up with. I keep getting better at all this sort of stuff. I do. Right, so I've only got one question. Question link is down below in the comments, guys. Yeah. Right, yeah, everything's going fine, I think. Oh, right. So, Christmas prezzies. What have we had? Well, what's your favourite Christmas prezzie, folks? Let's see what people have had. The Nerd. Hello, Nerd Jack. How are you doing, bud? So, come on, Christmas prezzies. What have we had, folksicles? Oh. Now they go for two, eh? Are you watching a football match, Kat? I keep seeing comments coming up, and I think half of my American lot are watching a football match at the same time. Have you seen the new movie about the terrainiacs? It's called Meet the Flockers. That'd be a good movie. Hey Mal, what would you use to start experimenting with water and water effects? If I'm going to start experimenting, I'd start with the acrylic gels, mate. X Plus Godzilla, nice. I got an Imperial Knights Renegade, nice. Got a new bike, which is cool, good. Pedal bike, motorbike. Cat, time to mute. Randy, yeah. The Gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. Is that an actual thing? It's an official religion, the Spaghetti Monster, isn't it? Nicholas got Cruel Seas. I'm still waiting for my box. And my new missus bought me a Reaver Titan. My sister Chewie and some Wookiees. Oh, nice, mate. That's wrong.
Mega Marshmallow.
Love you.
Bye.
That's wrong.
Allowed to crash. We're strange people. I can't open the door.
You're going to be bouncing on sugar for ages.
We have Haribo to put in it as well. Yay!
Has anyone got a house I can come stay at tonight? I don't take up much room. Little blanket. No, I'm responsible if there's a boy sleepover. If there's a girl sleepover, you have to stay in the house. Law. It's law. Prove me wrong. Don't need to. I claimed it first. There's no way I've won an argument. No chance. She's thinking. That's dangerous. Right. I got a pine building kit. Night. Lord Celestial and a Star Drake. That's 40k. I'm so out of 40k. Got some awesome vinyls. One for the original Foo Fighters album and the Orc Death Dread. I saw the 1000 drummer band thing do the Foo Fighters. That was brilliant. I got Tools and Tech, nice. Power Cab. 6 flats of polystyrene and hot wire. Go, oh, nice. I got a £100 box for 40k. Eldar doing a Wave Serpent right now. Nice. 2 Willows. No, Willow and a mouse. Yeah, Willow's long-term best friend since she started school. Yeah, she comes and stays occasionally, yeah. I don't know if you do this around outside the UK, but we have sort of sleepovers where our kids' friends come and stay for a night. I got Space 1999 t-shirt, Moonbase Alpha, very nice. Still love that spaceship. Blackstone Fortress, first G2 stuff I've wanted in years. Really looking forward to cracking it open. Very nice. Always a spare room in Telford for you, Mel. Nice, Alan. I'll be on my way after the live show. I've got a set of Copic markers. I've heard of those. I don't know why I've heard of those. Got a floor mounting stand for my iPad. Very useful. A floor mounting stand. Come on, Del. You're going to have to explain that one to me. Like a guitar stand or a microphone stand, but for an iPad. So you can use it while you're standing up. And Gary's saying, yeah, come on over, Mal. I bought Fallout 4 as a pre-Christmas gift to myself. You see, I do that. Does anyone else do that? I had a really crap Christmas, yeah, when I was about 17. I got this girlfriend, yeah. I was working at the time, and she didn't have any money, so I gave her £100 to go buy me Christmas gifts, yeah. And she went out and she bought... There's no way she spent the £100, and there was no way any of those gifts that she bought were really for me. So I had a really naff Christmas day, yeah. And ever since then, I've always had this little rule that for Christmas, I will go out and I will buy myself a present. And I will wrap it, and I will write on it, yeah, to Mel, Merry Christmas, love Mel. Know you're gonna love it. And I'll put it under the tree. And this year is the first year I haven't done that. How bizarre. But I got a hot glue gun, so I'm quite happy. And yes, I got a fire extinguisher. Yes, my wife, my Christmas present from my wife, she's bought me a fire extinguisher for the studio. Sort of says what she thinks about my competence in the studio, doesn't it? Mel, new way of financing your projects. Instead of a swear box, have a mom and dad box. Every time kids yell mom, dad, they have to put 10p. Should be financed in half an hour. It would break me, mate. People are getting slippers, bottle of gin, nice. Carnival stuff, nice. Check your PayPal. Okay, I better check my PayPal. We'll do that in just a second. Bought Action Rulebook and Star Wars Legion, very nice. Corbin got himself a little snow speeder on the land speeders off Willow. Randy says, I do that too, Mel. Nice. Amongst my haul, I got Cruel Seas, good. So I've been downloading a lot of small ships, 3D files, and printing loads of ships. You see that? I can see, what you call it, that. I can see 3D printing coming in as something in Cruel Seas. Very big. Very, yeah. Jack got himself a new graphics card. Yeah, Mr. Muffin saying, what you call it, he's been buying himself gifts since he was 16. People actually, Jaggy Infinita's getting himself a 3D printer, nice. I always buy myself exactly what I want, no exchanging needed. Yeah, we like that. We like that a lot. Oh, we broke the 100 mark on YouTube, nice. Safety first, ma'am. Yeah, I mean, what basically happened was, as part of Kez's ecological work, she's recently done some sort of like management site safety, a CIS, is it? Card? A blue, so she can be a blue hat, which is basically like an ecological manager on building sites. Yeah, so supervising the diggers and all that sort of stuff. But part of it, there's a lot of it which is health and safety. And she pointed out that the fire extinguisher that we got in the corridor of the studio was a water one. Yeah, and because I've got a lot of cameras and a lot of plugs and that sort of stuff in the studio, that wouldn't be particularly safe. So I think she's got me a powder one. Yeah, my own little fire extinguisher. So I have my own little health and safety chief. Copic markers are refillable alcohol-based artistic markers. Right, I knew I'd heard of them. This is why I have a shiny bit at the back of my head. Both the kids have started doing that now. Right does my head in. They pat me. Corbin comes along and he pats my head. It's not funny. Hopefully a bit for Vikings game. Nice. Oh, you're talking about Vikings as in football team, aren't you? Not wargaming. Resident Evil Kickstarter arrived before Christmas. Very nice. I didn't even know they did one. Now she needs to get you the chef's gloves that work like chainmail to stop knife cuts. I had a temporary job for a while working as a butcher in a place called ABP, Anglo Beef Processors. Yeah, working 13, 14 hours on a butchery line, so I know those gloves well. And to point of fact, I haven't cut myself. Everyone goes on about me cutting myself, but... Would you like to be on the live stream? Just telling you, she'll go quiet now, yeah. I did give 2 presents I would have happily kept. I gave my dad a mini lathe and my sister-in-law a bell jar diorama for a mushroom garden I'd be rigged to light up. That's nice, mate. I like the idea of I'm seeing a lot of this on the terrainiacs lately. A lot of people coming in and using scenic modelling techniques to make gifts, Christmas gifts and stuff like that. I like it. Yeah, it's nice. Anything which keeps these skills going, I particularly find nice. Right, I've only got 4 questions. Yeah, so you guys better pick up the bloody steam or I'm not going to have much to talk about. But I have got to check out, PayPal. So let's check out PayPal, because someone's PayPal'd me. Remember, guys, we are collecting towards the monitors. We're a lot further on than there. I'm getting some new monitors for my video editing. I'm waiting for the January sales. There we are. Someone's found the button. Thank you, buddy. Right, so far today, from what I can see, we have just had, Evan Hart, hope you had a great New Year, sending us a couple of bucks. Thank you, buddy, I did. And, Sanders. Sanders is, no, that's the fee to PayPal, you muppet. Sanders has sent us €10 as well. Thank you, buddy. There we go. Getting closer to those monitors. Kez has seen some really cool ones that are curved. Yeah, that's sort of like actually curved. Real decent big size ones that I could probably get away with just one. Yeah, and they're just having a smaller monitor the size. Has anyone got any experience using curved monitors? Specifically for things like video editing? Am I going to have any problems? Do you know what I mean? Why should I use isopropyl alcohol before using scenic glue? You don't need to be truthful. It does improve it. It does improve it as a flow aid. Yeah, but you can put flow aid in your watered down PVA and get the same result. Secondly, you can pre-wet with just water and flow aid. You don't need to pre-wet with isopropyl alcohol. We did a whole series of tests just to nail it out. Isopropyl alcohol does help with penetration, and carrying the glue into the material, and it does help with drying times because it evaporates off quicker. But you don't need it. You can get just as good a results with PVA. Hi Mel, your Christmas show was mad. I know. Christmas shows always are good. I do enjoy them. I did 3mm town many using Monopoly buildings. They work great. I've seen that done before. Monopoly buildings. Jacob's saying I should be okay with with some curved monitors. Nice. You deserved it. Helped me a lot. Well spent. Thank you, Sander. Thank you, dude. Right, I've got 4 questions, so I'm just going to do 4 questions. 4 candles? And we're just going to roll with it this show. It's the in-between the Christmas and New Year show where we don't even really know what we're doing on the show properly. Right, so what we got? Evan Hart's asking on YouTube, what temperature is your heat gun when you use it to peel off the cardboard from foam board? Thanks, Mal. Right, this is talking about when I blast foam board to melt the glue that holds the cardboard on to peel it off. I'm using a paint stripper, so it's quite hot, but the thing is, I move it around a lot, okay, because what you don't want to do is cause a heat spot and cause the polystyrene to retract. I don't actually know what temperature it is. I have noticed you get better results with it doing it on the black foam board rather than the white foam board. The white foam board is a lot harder to use a heat gun and take the foam off. Yeah, but the black one, that's easy. Yeah, the main thing is just avoid hot spotting. I haven't been able to do it with a hairdryer yet, so it needs to be hotter than a hairdryer. Curve seems nice if you have issues with eye fatigue, but otherwise seems like a gimmick. My eyes aren't too bad, to be truthful. I have noticed, what you call it, when Kez, you know, if we're in bed and Kez is looking at something on her phone and she'll like show it to me, yeah, the brightness on her phone, I have to sort of like reach back and let my eyes adjust to it. Yeah, but Kez is blind as a bat, to be truthful. Yeah, which doesn't surprise me why her brightness is off the screen. Right, so that was Ebonheart's question. Yeah, I don't actually know the temperature. Just avoid hot spotting and you will get far better results with black foam board than you will with white. Alright, Bruce is saying, any chance of some 10mm scale tutorials for fantasy in the future? Castles, ruins? I can't say exactly that in the near future, but in the very near future, because I've been working on it. I was meant to go in over Christmas and work on it, but to be truthful, I decided to take the week off and actually have a holiday. Yeah, so it's slightly delayed. But I'm doing 6mm for Cruel Seas. So there will be some small scale stuff coming up over the next month or so. So keep an eye out for that. Remember guys, if you've got questions, link down below to the Google Doc. All you need to do is hit the link, go over to it. You don't need to be logged in. Just put in your screen name, click which platform you're asking it from, whether YouTube, Facebook or Twitch, and then just give me your actual question down below in the text box, and we'll get to it in a second. Sander. Sander's asking, what is your favourite thing to do on terrain, and what is your least favourite thing to do? Ooh, that's a question, isn't it? That's actually 2 questions, Sander. Right. Favourite thing to do? Greenfield work. Always greenfield work. I grew up in North Wales, which is a very green and rocky place. And so I used to spend a lot of time, you know, on my own, sort of walking the hills and that sort of stuff, just because the way North Wales works. I mean, I was 4 miles away from my nearest friend. Yeah, I used to walk 4 miles to his house, and then we'd walk another 3 miles to town to go see our other mates. Yeah, and then walk home for evening. But I spent a lot of time, you know, sort of on my own, walking through countryside, and I used to live on Anglesey. Yeah, and we used to travel through the Snowdon mountain range because, you know, all my family were in Stoke, and it's about an hour and a half journey. Or an hour, as my mum used to drive. Yeah, but it was always through the mountains. So the lakes, the waterfalls, Snowdonian mountain range, Betty Coed, you know. And so Greenfield has always been relaxing to me. You know, it's something that I really enjoy doing. Putting those pieces together. Especially if it's mountainous and it's got a cold vibe to it. A lot of the Greenfield stuff I do is summer Greenfield. But when you get the winter, the cold, it's like, I like that. Least favourite thing. Windows. I bloody hate windows. Window frames, panels. It's okay when you're doing like MDF kits and you can pre-spray the parts and then layer them in together. But if you have to paint windows, I hate that. I really hate windows. I'd rather burn them out. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why on the zombie apocalypse build, yeah, most of the buildings are burnt out. Because I took a look at the windows. I'm not doing those windows. I'm just going to burn the buggers out. You know, like, Dean, listen, yeah, this zombie apocalypse board, yeah. You want it like, you know, as if like things have caught fire because people haven't been looking after them and, you know, that sort of stuff, don't you? Yeah. So burn out buildings, yeah. Brilliant. Sorted. But yeah, windows every time. I went ziplining up that part of Wales. Fantastic scenery. In the times that I've done terrain, I've never really touched on green fields. No, I know the zip line you're talking about. We're on about doing it. there's an absolutely huge zip line up in North Wales, and it pretty much goes from one mountain to another. Yeah, you know, it's supposed to be a hell of a thing. The eldest lad's done it, and he says it's brilliant. People are talking about Cruel Seas. Yeah, plenty of Cruel Seas. It was supposed to be coming up over Christmas, but Cruel Seas had quite a bit of a run on it, and I haven't even had my box yet. Yeah, I think I had the last. Rich told me I had the very last starter set to leave Warlord. Yeah, so if you haven't got yours yet and you're waiting on it, but I had the very last starter set, and I was waiting for the box to I've done a load of scenery for it, but I needed the guns and stuff for the naval emplacements that I've built. So, got that going on. Right, questions are coming in thick and fast. So, Sander, favourite thing, greenfields, mountains, that sort of stuff. Least favourite, windows. Right, Gnome 404. What would you recommend to build a modular tile set for RPG use? Hearst Arts. Every single time. Hearst Arts. Okay? Hearst Arts molds. If you've not come across them, they're little silicon molds, but Bruce Hearst, he spent his life building up these molds in these sets, and they're specifically for role-play games, for Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. And there's just so many different things you can do with them that if you're building up a modular tile set, I highly recommend them. In fact, I can probably show them you. Can I? Do I have some pieces here? Oh no, they're not Hearst Arts. There is another option. Yeah, Hearst Arts can be quite expensive because you've got to buy the tile molds, and then you've got to buy the casting material. What you can do is Steve and Rich over at Dark Ops. Yeah, I think it's darkops.co.uk. They produce these. Okay. Now these are there goes the Kez. These are dungeon tiles, MDF. Okay, and what it basically is I think it's a 3mm bottom piece, which is solid, and then you get all the individuals, and if I bring them up, you can see there's patterns in them. I've actually got a load of these, but they're in the kitchen. Thank you, Callum. Merry Christmas, dude. Merry Christmas from me, the missus, and the dog. Well, Merry Christmas from me, the missus, and the dog back, dude. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, but yeah, these are basically the MDF dungeon tiles. You get quite a large set for about I think it's about 15 or 20 quid. Yeah, easily enough to do loads of different pieces, and they've got a few different sets. Yeah, and it literally is just a matter of, you know, glue the bits down. They're lightweight, you know, they're sturdy and everything. Yeah, so if you want to go full bore, like, right, we're really going to invest in this, have a look at the Hearst Arts. If not, check out Dark Ops. Now, I don't know if any other MDF manufacturers make them. I'd be surprised if there weren't other manufacturers making dungeon tiles in MDF, to be perfectly honest. Because it's such a, I mean, it's an easy build, isn't it? You know what I mean? So I'd be surprised if there weren't people doing that. Yeah, but it's not something I sort of look out for. I've got a few more of these, I think. Would you like a quick nose? Should we have a quick peek at them? It'll mean me nipping into the kitchen and getting a whatchamacallit. Right, who was that again? Just let me just check the web link, guys. Yeah, and I'll post it in the comments. Dark Ops MDF Terrain, because Dark Ops is a computer game, isn't it? Yeah, that's them. That's Steve. Dark Ops do loads of good stuff there. If you're after boats, yeah, check Dark Ops out. Yeah, Rich, he went on this. He's gone on this mad thing, this mad weird thing. He got a passion for boats. Yeah, and they make really interesting boat kits. Yeah, but yeah, darkops.co.uk. Let me just grab some of the other little bits, guys. Just give me 1 minute, yeah. There we go. There you are, and I'm back. Right, so this is Dungeon Saga from Mantic Games. This is the game we play with the kids, our sort of dungeon crawler game. Yeah. Tilt that down a bit. There you go. So the Dark Ops tiles, I'll give Steve a little bit of free promo here. Yeah, you get all sorts of weird and wonderful things on them. Yeah. And so these are our dungeon tile setups. They're really nice, to be truthful. They paint up really well. It's just a grey stipple and some washes. Yeah. That was just a little bit of hot glue in the bit in the middle there for that sort of lava stream. Well, not lava, but gloop stream. I mean, they appear from my screen. It's looking quite nice, and there's an absolute ton of these things. Yeah, lovely little details for like the tourney rooms and stuff like that. The kids actually painted these up. There's a video on the channel. That was Corbin. He went a bit dark with that wooden one. Didn't quite come out as he wanted it. It's all right. And I mean, there's tons of them. I mean, all this is out of one kit. Yeah, there's you know, loads of rooms for you to use. I'm just trying to... corridor sections. And then this one. This is the one I really like. Yeah, that's actually got a raised up area for a throne. But bring that up so you can see the detail on it. Yeah, and then in the middle you got all that sort of engraved work. And it comes like that for like a throne room. Really nice, really nice. But yeah, that's the Dark Ops stuff. So if you are after modular dungeon tiles, there is the MDF option, and I do recommend Dark Ops. Right, so let me put these away. I have to get back on that soon as well. I've got an adventure to finish. Thank you, B Mozza. I got a bunch of dungeon tiles. Any ideas for the lava scar? Yeah, that's already on the way, mate. Very much on the way. Right, restream chat. I need to get on that. That's something for a custom Hero Quest board. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, but yeah, definitely check out Dark Ops. Yeah, really good stuff. And Steve and Rich, they do good stuff. You know what I mean? They're good guys. They're actually local to me. They're, you know what? They're only about, I think, about 4 or 5 miles away. And I've met Steve at a couple of the local gaming clubs, and he's genuinely a good guy. Yeah, so if you're after MDF kits, do check out Dark Ops, guys. Right, next question. Oh, Andrew. Right, back on the MDF terrain. I bought a bunch of TT Combat MDF terrain, but the laser cuts look very shallow. If I've spray paint, I'm worried that I'll lose the lines. Any suggestions? You won't lose the lines, mate. Everyone looks at shallow engraving and thinks they're going to lose the lines. The only time you're going to lose the lines is if you brush on it. Yeah, if you brush paint it with something like a heavy paint, like a wall paint, like a, you know, an emulsion or latex paint if you're in the US. If you use a spray primer, you won't lose the lines. Sarissa Precision, they have these townhouses, the ones I use for the zombie board, and the brickwork on those is very shallow, and I had the same concerns, but with spray primers, no concerns whatsoever. So yeah, you won't have any problems as long as as long as you use spray primers, mate. Yeah, if you use a house paint or something like that and you apply it on too thickly, you could lose them, depending on where they are and that sort of stuff and how deep they are, but spray paint will be absolutely fine. Right, question 6 of 9. I'm looking at the Dark Ops website now, can't see the dungeon tiles on there. Have they stopped selling them? Let's put in Saga. No, they're still there. Do a search for tiles. They're definitely still there because I'm looking at them. £38. Sorry, I thought they were 20. My mistake. There's Dwarven Forge. Yeah, that's what you call it. What's his name? You know, the guy who likes the... Oh, I've forgotten. There was a documentary. The Dwarvenaut, wasn't it? Damn, he likes his beer. It's quite a dark documentary, to be truthful. He's an awesome guy from what I can tell, but some demons there. Don't spray super close and super thick. Yeah, obviously when you're spraying, you know, you use for the proper spray techniques, guys. Yeah, otherwise you are going to obliterate your lines. Yeah, CM saying I can confirm if you spray the TT Combat MDF kits, you won't lose the details. So there you are. There's someone who's actually got the kits and is used to working them, and he's just confirming what we're saying. Thanks, CM. Right, questions. So yeah, Cat. 2 parts. Is your wild and crazy friend coming over to yours on New Year's? And when are you back in the studio for Thursday live builds? Thursday live builds should be starting not this week, the week after. I've got Rich from Warlord Games in on this Thursday. Also, Kez starts a new job she starts on the 2nd, which I believe is Wednesday. So I don't want to be first week with her at work and that sort of stuff. I'd rather be at home and that sort of stuff. But yeah, that Dwarvenaut was a weird documentary. Yes, it was. Lovely guy in the challenges, and you know what I mean. And he seems to be going strength from strength and that sort of stuff. From what you see, the little clip, I follow him on Facebook. But quite dark as well. You know, we've all got our demons, haven't we? It's just when they're laid bare and structured in an hour-long episode. I mean, I'm damn sure if you went through enough of my footage, you could probably put together something that's probably quite dark and depressing. Yeah, it's just when it's put together in an hour. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh. Yeah, so, is that your wild and crazy friend coming over for New Year's? No comment on that one, but we won't be live streaming if she is. Yeah, when are you back? Yeah, and I've answered that one. So, Kat, yeah, you've got your answers, Duck. Stefan Pokami, is that his name? Yeah, that's it. That's the guy. Lovely guy, you know what I mean? But It's kind of weird when you follow someone on Facebook, yeah, as a person, because not only do you follow their business, but you also follow their life a bit. And he's gone in and out of relationships and stuff like that. Sometimes you don't need to know these things. You know what I mean? I mean, I know you lot know a lot about my life, and I know you know a lot about my ups and downs, but it's very much in a broad setting. You know what I mean? Yeah, and what you see is what we choose to show. Now, I'm not saying that we're awful behind the scenes and this is all show, but there's that element of, the kids know when I'm live, Kez knows when I'm live, and that sort of stuff. But the idea of being followed around by a documentary, sometimes I think you don't need to know that much about people, especially in the wargaming sphere. Right, more questions. I'm out of coffee as well. That's not good. Right, Keith is asking, I've been creating a desert style terrain and making foliage and items. What would you think good style grass would do to create ferns and wispy bushes or cacti? Right, anywhere where it's hot, you want light coloured greens, okay? Comes down to the chloroform. There's two types of chloroform in plants, chloroform alpha and chloroform beta. Now, chloroform beta is like a heavy duty all round, yeah, and chemically it only reflects green light, yeah. So when you see something which is really dark and deep green, yeah, typically that's got chloroform beta in. And the way to think about it is you look at any sort of overcast areas, the plants that like overcast, dark green grass, dark bushes, evergreen trees, pines, that sort of stuff. And then the chloroform alpha, yeah, that's the best sort of, not chloroform, chlorophyll, yeah, chloroform. Isn't that what you use to knock people out? Yeah, but the chlorophyll alpha, yeah, that's really good at converting sunlight, but chemically it reflects green and red light, which can make it appear a lot more lighter. Yeah, so in a desert environment, you want to stick with very light greens moving into yellows and tans for the sort of burnt out look. For the tumbleweeds and that sort of stuff, you can get things like the coconut matting that's used in plant liners. Grab some of that, ball it up, give it a little bit of a dusting with a tan colour, a light yellow colour, and that'll hold it into a little ball and that sort of stuff, and that works really well. Yeah, it is what and when you choose to share, not what the film crew and editor decide to show of you. Yeah, very much so. I suppose what it is the only time you guys know I might be having a bad spell is when I'm honest with you about it. I mean, a lot of people, anyone who's suffered can carry it, can carry it off and, throw on a good face for an hour or two. It's what a lot of people who suffer with mental health problems do all the time. And that's how you get through the day. But actually having been documented and not having the control or the choice over when no. Less is more, Mel. Or so my ex told me. That didn't come out right. Chloroform will knock you out. I know. He means chlorophyll. I love how my regulars just jump in and automatically, he does actually mean this. He does know what he's talking about. You just realise that, with Mel's brain, words get swapped round. We know what you mean. We have all learned to translate you. I do feel sorry for those new viewers who haven't got used to the Mel yet. What did he just say to do? No, he didn't mean that. I would love to see Mel use chloroform. Kez uses chloroform. She did it in a degree for knocking out invertebrates, insects and stuff like that. For doing experiments and stuff like that. Or whatchamacallit? West Side. Hello, buddy. My demons are too scared of me to make a regular appearance. They know what's better. Jimmy, I like that. I like that. That reminds me, there was what you call it, one of those little, you know how you get like the little quotes on Facebook and stuff like that, and it was like very much like a demon jumping in and possessing this guy, and he jumped in and the demon went, I'm going to put you through hell now, and the demon's like, wait, what? What's this? Does everything in hurt? What's this pain? And the human's like, yeah, just suck it up. You got to deal with it now. This isn't right. Freudian slip. Mel's brainstorming of ways to quieten the children. We all speak Mel. Missed you too, Westy. Kez probably will have also used it when she was doing her DNA work. Actually, yeah, that does ring a bell when she was doing, what was it? CRISPR? Something like that? Right, anyway, going back to Keith's desert question. I think we've covered that, haven't we? Right, moving on. Steve on YouTube. Hi Mel, newbie question. Thank you, Mozza. I know there's many methods of painting rocks, but what is your method of choice currently for painting rocks? My method of choice? Depends if it's for me or the channel. If it's for the channel, then it's pretty much to my tabletop standard of using greys, then browns, then overbrush grey, then light brush a light brown, light brush a light grey, light dry brush a cream colour. Yeah, because it's a nice, easy, standard one using a nice palette of colours that most people can get from, like, you know, from the DIY store in tester pots. If I'm doing it for myself, then I'm a big fan of acrylic washing. You know, laying the colours down as a wash, putting the browns and the, you know, the desaturated blacks and the earth green tones and then the brown tones, specifically where I want them. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, you've got to understand the difference is when I do the channel method with the dry brushing, I might use a brush that's, say, 1 inch, a 1 inch flat. Yeah. When I'm doing the acrylic wash technique, I'm using brushes like that compared to a 1 inch brush. You know what I mean? So it's a hell of a lot more work, but they do come out beautifully. The thing that I've been doing a lot of lately is, and this is just my own personal development, is I've been watching and reading and studying a lot of artistic techniques for painting rocks. Yeah, looking at their colours and what they mix in to get more realistic colours and shadows and that sort of stuff. And these techniques don't lend themselves to dry brushing or stippling. These are very specific techniques where the right colour needs to be in the right place. So I'm very much, even though I'm painting perhaps rocks, i.e. a rocky texture, I'm painting it as if it was a canvas when it comes to the actual colours. Yeah, rather than letting light drop the shadow down and using shotgun techniques. Because, I mean, dry brushing can create light and shadow by dry brushing the highlight points, if you know what I mean, and leaving the recesses. And that will create a look of shadow. And then that's reinforced by actual light and shadow because, you know, we build in 3D. But with my acrylic work, I'm literally at the stage now where I'm practicing on a flat bit of white foam board, and then I'm taking those colours over onto a 3D cast rock and painting the colours as I think they should be conformed to the rock, which is incredibly tedious, but produces some really beautiful results. I'm not quite happy with it. I don't want to show it off yet because I can see where I'm going wrong and I'm still learning and getting a feel for it. But at the same time, I'm able to take a photo of my rock, yeah, cut it out so that it's just the rock, and I can send that to mates yeah, and quite a lot of them are thinking it's real rock. You know, I've taken a photo of a rock while I've been out somewhere or something like that. So, yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. So, yeah, to answer Steve's question, for the channel and teaching, I like a nice, simple dry brush, overbrush technique using a small selection of colours, a small palette, which gives really nice results because it's really easy for you guys to pick it up and run with it, especially you newbie guys. With my own personal technique, I'm essentially trying to become a fine art painter and then throw all that onto a 3D surface. It's not easy, but they do look beautiful. I've spent a lot of time this year, quite a lot of time actually looking into art and artistic technique. Fred's lent me loads of books and explained loads of things to me that I found really interesting and really useful. Things that we just don't do in terrain, you know what I mean? That have a massive effect. But I'm at this sort of stage where when I want to share information with you guys, I like to share it on the basis of it's not, look, I've just seen this, so I'm going to do this and show it you. I like to be able to understand something to a point that if, you know, any questions that come my way, I can deal with, you know, I know what I'm talking about. And I'm not at that stage yet. I reckon another 6 months. And yeah. Yeah, I'll be there. And that'll be an interesting time. A very interesting time. Right. But yeah, that's a little glimpse behind the scenes. That's one of the things, you know, the patron stuff when, you know, you're supporting the channel. That's the stuff you don't see. Yeah, when I sit down in the studio with 12 Woodland Scenics cast rock faces, yeah, and my desk is just covered in paints. Also, Games Workshop paints, house paints, oil paints, all sorts. And I'm just looking at different colours and what I can do. And Bob Ross, love Bob Ross. He's like, right, we're going to start this mountain and we'll start with a yellow. And I'm like, yo, what? And then later I'm like, oh my God. Right, questions to the Google Doc down below. Right, Steve asked that question twice, so I am on 10 of 11. Bill in Iowa. Hiya, Bill. Merry Christmas, buddy. I'm flocking all my pine trees, and there are more than 100 of them. Dude, you got carried away, didn't you, Bill? I'm going to be doing them 3 shades of green. Why? My thinking is that there would be different species in the forest. What do you think? Would one species crowd and dominate the rest? Should I be flocking them all the same shade of green? Yes. Pine trees, all the same shade of green. This goes back to what I was talking about earlier with the 2 types of chlorophyll. Not chloroform, chlorophyll. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Eddie. Yeah. When it comes, chlorophyll alpha can produce all sorts of shade of leaves. Everything from a medium green to a light green to a yellow, all the way over to red leaves. Okay, that's because of the chlorophyll in them. Yeah, that chlorophyll alpha. Chlorophyll beta produces 1 shade of green. Go look at a pine forest. Yeah, any variation in shade isn't due to the foliage. It's due to the light. Okay, go and have a look at it. They're all the same shade of green, mate. So don't, there may be incredibly subtle differences. Yeah, but they're the sort of differences that you can barely tell. You would be better off going all with the same shade of green and then perhaps spraying a couple of them, yeah, near the bases with a dark green ink just to darken them down a bit. 50 Shades of Green, an adult film for terrainiacs. I will say this, you know, when 50 Shades of Grey came out, it was like, yeah, you think you've got something. I've got more than 50, mate. Bob Ross has a channel on Roku. 24 hours of his paintings. I watch him on Twitch and stuff like that, but I do like him. TT Combat Terrain photos in the Terrain Tutors Terrainiacs Facebook page. So anyone who wants to have a look at buildings when they're being spray primed and if they lose the detail, oh pardon me, details are on the Terrainiacs page. A link down below in the description, guys. But to finish off with Bill's question, dude, do a more dark green. Don't be changing the shades. Trust me, don't change the shades. Go look at some photos of pine forests. Right, question 11 of 12. This one's from our Tim. How far can a swallow carry a coconut? African or European? Question 12 of 12. Burns Eye? Oh, it's a big one. Ewan saying I've got more than 50 shades of grey just in my beard. Mel needs a Bob Ross afro. Really? Really? They've just said that. Don't you do it as well? Did you see that? It's a concern. Are you behind it?
What?
Have you started the kids patting my head? So why have you started doing it? Could I have started it? Right, okay. Okay, quote from Burns Eye, question 12 of 12 on YouTube. Hey Mal, I wonder if I could pick your brains. Certainly, buddy, it's what I'm here for. Yeah, I just bought my first ever MDF building. Well, about 15 kilograms of an MDF city. Dude. 15 kilos of MDF is a lot of buildings. What do you recommend for undercoating? Regular house paint undercoat good enough? Also, can I put regular house paint through an airbrush for painting up so the details? Family member works at a paint shop, so I want to take advantage if I can. Right, okay. First off, right, I've got to make sure I get this right. In the playlist, yeah, in the Back to Basics playlist, there's a video on how to thin your house paints down for going through an airbrush. Yeah, it's specifically a video for we're using house paint, wall paint, and an airbrush, mate. Okay, so put that on your watch list. We had a chat about house paint and and MDF buildings. Now you can use it, but it's not the best, especially for not laying it down. What I would recommend is if you don't want to use spray primers and you really want to take advantage of the fact that you've got, you know, discount at a house paint shop, yeah, go buy some spray lacquers, even hairspray lacquers. All of these things will seal the MDF. The problem with house paint and MDF kits is that the MDF sucks the moisture out of them, and it can take a lot of coats to get a decent thick coat up. So what you need to do is seal the MDF to stop it sucking in all that moisture. And one of the quickest, easiest ways of doing that is a quick blast of a hair lacquer before you go over it with a house paint. So that's an option as well. Yeah. My personal preference when I do when I spray paint, when I do MDF kits, is I spray primer them. If you don't want to spray primer them, consider spray sealing them with a matte lacquer, yeah, and then going in with the house paint. Above all, what you want to do is you want to seal the MDF to stop it sucking in the moisture from the house paint. As soon as you've done that, it's fine. Bang away with your house paint, no worries whatsoever, mate. The issue is you need to stop it sucking in that moisture because it's bizarre. I don't know if it's the laser cutting process, yeah, that sort of increases the problems you have with it. You know, essentially opening up the sealed surface. Because when they make MDF, yeah, they sort of, it's pressed. And the top surface is almost like it's sealed. Yeah, so when they do the laser engraving and that sort of stuff, that can make it a lot worse. Yeah, people are talking about what forests are like, and I saw that Lindy Burge video as well. That was really good, about managing forests. Paint all sides of your MDF, edges too, and the underneath. No worries, Burnseye. But like I say, sealing the MDF is your priority. Hairspray, a decent hairspray lacquer will do it. You're just better off. A car lacquer will do it a lot better. If you've got 15 kilos, you're probably going to only need 1 can, because you don't actually need to give it a really tough coat. All you need to do is just give it a quick general coat, you know what I mean, and just give it a light seal. And that is question 12 of 12. I'm caught up. That's not usual. Right, I bet I had checked the PayPal. Hello to my 5 viewers on Twitch. I'm slowly getting used to this, what you call it. Slowly getting used to it. We're getting there. Right, let me check PayPal, because I don't want to miss anyone else. Miss anyone out. Don't tell me my fingerprint hasn't recognised you. Right, okay, gotta work this out. Hey? Right. Okay, Hyper Agent, he sent 20 quid. Congrats on the play button, and hope you have an amazing, what you call it, 2019 West Side. Thank you, buddy. Ed, I think we've done Ed. Yeah, I think we've done Ed. He sent us $5 Australian. Thank you, buddy. Have we missed anyone else? We got Brian. Ewan. Oh, you snuck that one in, Ewan, didn't you? He sent Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Yeah, 25. Thank you. Oh, monitors. Callum. Yeah, we got Callum, I think. He sent a tenner. Thank you, buddy. Graham, 20 quid. Thanks, dude. How are you doing, matey? Benjamin, I think we got. Yeah, and yeah. Thanks, guys. You sneaky PayPalers. Joanne, I tried airbrush primer on my MDF kit. Took a lot of layers. Going in with a rattle can next time. Yeah, airbrush primer. It can have the same problem. Yeah, it's that sucking up of moisture. That's why I like the spray primers. They work a wonder. I'll be honest with you, I am a big fan of the Army Painter spray primers for MDF kits. And the reason being is that when you spray prime an MDF kit, you can often have overhangs and bits where you can't get to. The fact that Army Painter colour match their primers and their paints means that I can just get an airbrush, or I can get a normal brush, get the colour match paint in an acrylic, yeah, and just touch those bits up, which is a godsend. You owe us a money dance when you hit 250. Deal. I was too busy watching Kelly's Heroes. Good film, good film. Right, you've caught me as a lull. I don't normally catch up with my comments this early on. Yeah, it's that Christmas thing. We're stuck in between. He dances at 100. We get the whole family dance last week. You didn't get Kez. You won't get Kez dancing. Right. So let's talk about what's coming up and what's going on the channel. Yeah, because I know you're interested. We have got a bit of a talkie coming up on Tuesday for you. It should be out on Patreon tomorrow. Yeah, I just need to finish a little bit of editing on it. It's designing terrain sets. Yeah, it's one of our talk terrain videos. There's also, a tour of the studio. That'll be going on Patreon. I don't know when it'll hit the channel because I've got some terrain vids to come out, if you know what I mean. I am working on the Cruel Sea stuff. It's just been a bit higgledy-piggledy getting that stuff out because I've been late getting the boxes, and to be truthful, like I say, I was planning on going in and working in the studio for a couple of days over Christmas. But in all honesty, guys, I just decided I'd take it off, you know, and I'd spend it with the kids and that sort of stuff. I mean, with Kez starting this job, Kez's shifts are 2 p.m. till 10 p.m. Yeah, Monday to Friday. And so with me in the studio, then me looking after the kids when we get home, I'm not going to really see that much of her until the weekends. And so, you know, I decided I'd take Christmas to spend with the family. If Mel dances in a G-string, can we slip $1 bills into the waistband, asking for a friend? If I dance in a G-string, they better be $100 bills. Any big plans for tomorrow night, folks? We're having a few friends round. It's going to get messy, very, very messy. And yeah, Jenny will be here, and yeah, that will happen. So it won't be live streams because it can't. Because we all know what happens when Jenny gets drunk. So I have one more commission to finish and I hate it. It's so far out of my element and it's hard to sit and work on it. Cat, what's that, Duck? I'm curious. I notice you continually break 100 watching now. A couple of years ago, you were lucky to break 75. Yeah, we regularly, you know, hit the 100 mark overall across all the platforms and that sort of stuff. It's just grown. The channel's grown, you know. We've grown. I've grown. The kids have grown. I think above all, the interest in terrain making. Well, no matter what you're making it for, whether it's railways, diorama work, gifts, you know, wargaming, role-playing. I've seen it starting to creep into board games now, where people are making... There was a beautiful Catan board, 3D Catan board made and put on the terrainiacs. And so it's creeping over to people who are using it to make their own custom boards for their favourite board games now. Yeah, and I just think that's a wonderful thing. You know, in this time where we're getting so close to virtual reality, augmented reality, 3D printing, online gaming, that there's been this resurgence in craft. You know what I mean? Getting messy. Yeah. I mean, for the vast majority of us, the last time we saw craft glue was school. Do you know what I mean? And people are loving it and getting into it. Randy, it's for a friend. Great granddaughter. Princess Castle. All pink and lace and silly. I wanted to stick a pile of skulls or a bloody axe in the corner, but can't. I know that one, Cat. What do you mean it's got to be cute? Gather round and you shall hear the tales of Mel, the greybeard's plans for future year. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, and send those donations by PayPal, and that's enough from me. That's brilliant. Maybe I can hang some entrails on the unicorn's horn. I've just popped up a Mel Ross, Bob Ross photo on the Facebook group. I get worried with Ewan. Ewan's like one of my oldest fans. I've met him. I didn't know at the time. It was UK Games Expo. Yeah, and I was walking around filming and this guy stood in front of me. Yeah, and took my photo. Smiled at me and disappeared. Yeah, and then I only found out afterwards it's Ewan. He's probably one of my... I mean, Ewan, how many subs did I have when you jumped on, mate? I mean, it's got to be... It's got to be... I must have had less than 1,000. Either loads of people are posting to the to the terrainiacs group, or it hasn't gone up. Because I don't see a Bob Ross photo of me. I'll find it later. Although, oh, that's some beautiful, what you call it? Beautiful work on the group at the minute. Go check the group out. Link down below in the description. With board games, I'd like to make a British versus Pirates board. Or see with islands. I don't play many board games, to be truthful. We play the odd ones. Kez keeps bugging me for, what's the one she plays? Carcassonne. She loves Carcassonne. She wants a 3D version. And I'm like, yeah, that's going to be a lot of work. Mel, what do you advise to seal a big plate of MDF? It's my tabletop for a railway layout. Going to need a hell of a lot of hair lacquer. Go buy a tub of what's called polyurethane varnish, mate. Seal it with that. Underdog painting. Hello, buddy. Hey, guys. It's been a long time since I've been here. Hope you've all had a good Christmas. We have, mate. There's been a lot of a lot of new faces and that sort of stuff in lately. If you start doing makeup videos, you could break 1 million subs. I know, what shall it? Someone turned round to me and they said, with my sort of character and the way I, you know, my sort of, the way I can make a joke and that sort of stuff, that I could easily do 1 million subs with a computer gaming channel, even if I wasn't any good at any computer games. You know what I mean? And I was severely tempted for a while. Because, I mean, compared to terrain making, it's a lot easier to sit in a chair in the comfort of your own home and just play some games and have a bit of banter. Yeah. But I love my terrain making. And I think I get more out of it than if I was to do computer gaming. You know what I mean? Kat saying she was here early, lurking. Remember when I was working on the kitchen table and painting with Kez? That'd be around about the 20,000 mark, I think. Ever thought about making a Discord group? Yeah, it's something I want to do for Patreon. But I'm waiting for... I've got some plans along those lines, but there's a few things that I need to see settle down first. It was just me, Westy and Bill back then. It was you. And that talisman board is mental. I haven't seen the talisman board yet. I'll have to see if I can. Mal, I want to make an Egyptian themed Warhammer table. How would you craft pyramids and desert ruins? I do them out of hard foam, mate. I mean, pyramids can be square, can't they? And if you're making it for Warhammer Fantasy, you're going to want them square so you can stand models on. So make them more like ziggurats than pyramids. Mel, I've always been a bit of a bot Ross. Happy little accents are instead of clump foliage indicators. Yeah. I'd watch a Mel gaming channel. Mel, you rock because you love what you do and you can talk about it for hours. That is true. Yeah, I've been working in the background trying to get my channel together. We'll be doing tutorials in the new year. Hope you guys like and give you something from it. Nice one. Check him out. Underdog Painting. Top bloke. Yeah, trending on YouTube. Makeup, unboxing, weird stuff gets millions of views. Yeah. So when did you start this channel, Mel? 2013. I'm 5 years in. 5 years. Hey, Max. Merry Christmas, bud. Yeah, but for everyone who's killing it in gaming and makeup and unboxing, there are hundreds of thousands of people not killing it. Very true. I used a Ferrero Rocher plastic pyramid for a Tomb King's pyramid. Nice! We like that. Mal is great because you come across as genuine. I think the reason I come across as genuine is just generally I try to be genuine. You know what I mean? I think it's more effort to be fake and present something you're not than just to be honest about it. And if you don't know something or you can't do something, be honest. You know, if it ain't really my sphere, or, you know, I'm not really 100%, or I don't do good at something, I'll say so. It does my nut in when you watch these channels and you watch loads of the videos and at no point do they do anything wrong or admit being even slightly, you know what I mean, fallible. And it's like, yeah, that's post-production perfectionist. That's editing out everything you got wrong and presenting it in the best light possible. And I get that. I get why you'd want to do it, but just doesn't feel. Do you know what I mean? In those days I would use a large block of foam and a hot wire cut into it like a pyramid. Those are the days. One second. Kaz? Volume? Volume? Can you... It's alright, Duck. She's getting rather passionate with one of her friends. Show business is all about sincerity. If you can fake that, you've got it made. I don't think I can fake it. I just think it's easier to be sincere. 5 years, that seems like it was ages ago. Dude, tell me about it. I wasn't grey back then. I've looked at the videos. There's not a grey hair in sight. Seems like you've always been on my computer. Fingers crossed I will be around for a lot longer. You can tell when you watch a YouTube video if the guy is in it just wanted a YouTube channel and spend time deciding what it should be about. But yeah. Those bigger YouTube channels, they have about 5 editors sitting there. Yeah, that's true. I do look at it and you look at... I mean, I do find it amazing for me to have, like, the numbers I have and be how small I am. I'm still just one man. You know what I mean? I mean, you look at Beasts of War, you look at Mini Wargaming. I know Adam from Tabletop Minions, Uncle Atom, isn't it? Atoll? Adam. I keep forgetting. But, I mean, I know he's a one-man band as well. But, you know, you look at the setups other people have got and the content they're putting it out, and then it's like, it's just me in the living room. I mean, this is it. This is the office. Yeah, you have the kids walking through and everything. Sounds kaput, people are saying. I don't know. So I retired 4 years ago and then moved up here and started watching then. But at the same time, I lost complete control. Coincidence? Yeah. Too many fake YouTubers. Good to see decent ones like Mel's, BMC, Black Magic Craft, DM Scotty. Yeah, don't forget DMG. Luke APS as well. Also, yeah, big public service announcement in case you haven't seen. Mike from Terrainiacs is back producing. He's back after his summer holidays. I had a Skype with him. Yeah, a private Skype. Was it not last night? The night before. Yeah, we had about a 3-hour Skype. It was a manic session. We had a right blast. Did everything. Politics, the lot. We had a right bitching session. I don't think we actually talked at all about terrain. Yeah, and not once did we talk about terrain, but we had a really good chat. But Mike from Terrainiacs is back. He's producing videos again. So if you haven't caught up with his channel, go check it out. If you've never heard of him, yeah, Terrainiacs, yeah, throw that into into YouTube. Go check him out. Mike's an awesome guy. Dude, you are entertaining an entire neighborhood in a major city. You can fill a stadium. If only they were all in like one location. You did mighty fine, Mel. Proud to have seen the journey. We're not finished yet. Nah. We're just getting started, man. Yeah. And I mean this, okay? For me, I suppose the 100k for me was a big turning point in the fact of I came to YouTube, if I'm honest, yeah, not to get 100,000 subscribers because I never thought that was possible. Even the biggest terrain channels only had about 20,000. It just nowhere on the horizon. It wasn't to make money, yeah, because terrain making at the best of times is not a profitable business. Yeah, you have to be bloody good at it to make money at it. Yeah, good money. It was for me, yeah, and the old noggin. Now, to be truthful, over the past 5 years and with your help and everything, that's sorted. You know, I've pretty much nailed that. I still have my ups and downs, but I am in a much stronger place. And now I'm in this situation where I'm actually right, okay, let's start looking forward again. Because for a long time I've been looking day to day. Yeah, and that's how I've been living. And I've reached this point where it's, right, let's start looking forward. Now if I can do 100,000 subscribers whilst, you know what I mean? What can we do? How far can we push terrain making? Do you know what I mean? Just think about the network you're developing. You could couch surf your way around the world. I have debated that. I'm just scared about going to some remote country and then getting killed in someone's living room. Not joking on that. I watch way too many scary movies. Just think, when virtual reality takes off, we'll be able to meet up together and peer over Mel's virtual shoulder as he's trying to work. I'm not sure I like that idea. Westside saying, thanks to you and luck, I'm selling 2 to 3 trees a year. Tree? I'm assuming trees. Yeah, yeah. At €275 minimum. Beautiful, dude. I've been figure painting for 30 years, but my terrain making has been rubbish. Your tips have helped me improve heaps, especially desert terrain. That's about the right approach, tools and materials. Nice. Hey up, Mel. Been rewatching the Trench series for company whilst bashing out some bolt action. Something just switched off. Brushes on your techniques. Nice one. Thank you, buddy. Jimmy, he does make D&D look very tempting, doesn't he? I'm assuming you're talking about one of the DMGs or the DM Scotties or Black Magic Craft. Witchlock. Well, he's good, yeah. I like his stuff. You're welcome to stay with us in New Jersey. Have you ever used airbrushing for your terrain? Yeah, loads, mate. I tend to, when I do tutorials, I tend to paint. Yeah, because it's about accessibility. Most people, if I use airbrushing in a tutorial, everyone thinks you've got to airbrush. And then everyone who doesn't have an airbrush is like, oh, I can't do that then. So I tend to, in my tutorials, I tend to just use brushwork. When I'm doing a lot of the stuff for myself, I do a lot of airbrushing because it is a lot quicker. It's not so much going down quicker, it's drying quicker, which is the factor. Your opinion on the Saw movies? First couple were good, then just got silly. I mean, the problem is, my biggest problem is with all sorts of scary movies and stuff like that. When it comes to the horror and the bloody guts stuff and, oh no, there's a saw hanging over her. I was a combat medic. Trust me. Yeah, there is nothing you can put on TV that is even going to put me off my dinner, mate. Yeah, because I have seen and dealt with far worse. Yeah, and in far better sound than Dolby surround sound. Yeah, so for me, scary movies are far more about the premise rather than the guts and the gore. The guts and the gore is just comical. I mean, you've got to remember, as part of a training, one of the things that you do as a combat medic is you train in CASSIM, which is casualty simulation. So it's essentially blood and gore cosplay. I mean, the amount of times I've stuffed wet tissue into condoms soaked with red food dye to do what you call it, guts, and then built up like a rim of what you call it, of putty around to make where your chest has opened up, and literally had my guts in my hands. You know what I mean? And that's just giggles. You know? I mean, you've got to remember, combat medics, we train to what you call it, we train to put catheters in on ourselves. And I'm talking those sort of catheters and those sort of catheters. I mean, trust me, yeah. I mean, it's got to be something pretty damn scary on TV, yeah, to freak you out more than when you're holding a tube and thinking where you got to put that and inflate the balloon at the end of it. Oh, new follower? I thought I'd switch that bloody off. The notifications on Twitch. I've ticked those buttons that many times. But yeah, I mean, with regards to the blood and the guts and the gore and the saw stuff, it's just comical to me. I mean, there was this one film, what was it? Someone wanted me to watch it because they wanted to freak me out. Centipede 2 or something like that. I watched it whilst eating chili con carne. And that freaked them the hell out. I was laughing the whole way through it. Did the whole MASH thing you did? Yeah, I did. You know, I served in Kosovo, and Kosovo was a messy war. People are talking trash stuff, they're talking D&D, they're talking Gilmore Girls in Saw. Gary's a poor farm boy. I don't know what that's a reference to. But no, I mean, on the gore and that, Kez can't watch it. Me, it's bread and butter, you know what I mean? Nothing of that bothers me. I think also there's that little bit of it that when you have dealt with that sort of stuff in real life, you know what I mean? And the weird thing about being a combat medic is that you're very independent. You know, the ambulance isn't going to turn up. You are the ambulance. You know, the NHS, the doctors, you know, they're back at the field hospital. You know, they're back at the triage centre or the dressing station. Where the blood is and where the decisions have to be made and the things have to be done, there's you. And then there's a lot of worried people looking at you. And so when you get to the TV stuff and you know it's made up, yeah, it's just jokey. From a poor family, spare him his life from this monstrosity. Yeah, Ethan's saying, like, you know, that I do not like blood and gore. Had so many injuries, I can feel how bad it might feel. I used to get that, you know, that empathy with the feeling, but not after what you call it, service. You know. But I mean, that's just one of those things. It is one of the signs. I mean, it's why anything medical in our family, and like, you know, I get called in. Crawley, hello, dude. Just pop it in the end. So wish happy everyone a new year. Do you know what? Ever thought about doing tutorials for Warhammer 40k style terrain? Yes, I have some coming. Yeah, I think we are on 10:29. I think that's a good place to wrap it up since Grawley's nipped in to wish us a happy new year. Yeah, so I'll tell you what, let's wrap this up. Listen, guys, thank you for a brilliant year. Thank you for taking me to the 100k, for your support, for turning up, for picking me up when I'm down and cheering me when I'm up. Just thank you. You're an awesome crowd of people, you are. And we will have to see about the couch surfing thing. I would love to see about travelling round the world. I remember as a crew chief on a Chinook. Oh, beef stew warming. Yeah. Right, I've got to leave the comments now or I'm going to get dragged in. Listen, guys, for tomorrow, let me wish you the best Happy New Year. Yeah, and I will see you in the new year. Unless you're on Patreon, in which case I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, because there'll probably be a video going up so I can squeeze an extra video out this month. Been a bit slack this month, to be perfectly honest. You know, I didn't do as many videos as I could have, so I need to squeeze another one in. Naughty Mel. Anyway, come to Texas. We'll have to have a chat in the Terrainiacs and see where we could go. Yeah, but in the meantime, I'll see you soon, guys. All the best. Ta-ra. Happy New Year.